Hey guys, welcome to a new series that I'm starting on my channel called #VEGANENOUGH ... where I look at some of the more grey areas of veganism. The definition of veganism being a little bit sketch on some topics. The definition, of course, being the non-consumption of animal goods and products. This raises the question, what is an animal product? What do people consider an animal product? For many people, veganism is also not just a diet. Veganism encompasses a whole moral and ethical belief system that the exploitation of animals and humans as well is wrong and unnecessary suffering is wrong. However, this raises the question, where do you draw the line of what is vegan and what is not vegan? It all just gets a little bit muddled and confused and people get offended. People are not vegan enough, they're not good vegans, they're all bad vegans, which is why I wanted to start this series where I look at some of the topics where it gets a little bit iffy and people disagree, and yeah, people just get a little bit touchy on some areas. So I thought I would look at some of these areas, give you my opinion on some of these areas and tell you the why people think it's vegan and why people don't think it's vegan, the pros and cons of every side. So without further ado, let's get started. Today I thought we would look at the question, is it okay for new vegans or any vegan for that matter to use non-vegan products such as cosmetic products, personal care products or clothing items that are not vegan and contain animal ingredients or materials that they purchased before they were vegan. Obviously, purchasing products or clothing items that contain animal ingredients when you are vegan is not okay, because the animal ingredient or the material that you get from the animal, like the leather from the cow, is obviously an animal product, therefore not vegan because it comes directly from the animal and it's just gross. So yeah, when I first went vegan, I had this question in my head, what the hell do I do with all my stuff? I have so much non-vegan clothing, I have so much non-vegan products, I didn't even realize this was bad. Like, what have I been doing all these years? I'm such a horrible vegan, I still have it. What do I do? Do I need to like get rid of all of it or do I keep it? Like, what do? I was like lost. But what you do with all your non-vegan stuff when you go vegan is really a matter of personal preference, and it differs depending on what you're getting rid of and what the item is and how much it costs and all this. So we're gonna look at that. I asked on a Facebook questionnaire the same question I just told that I asked you guys. Is it okay for new vegans / vegans who have been vegan for a while to continue to use non-vegan self-care / cosmetics products or clothing that they bought before they were vegan? And on this Facebook poll I gave two options. I said yes, it is okay, or no, it is not okay. And out of the 131 people, I know it's a very small sample size, but out of the 131 people that answered the survey, 121 people said yes, it's okay, and only 10 said no, it is not. And the reasons they put in the comments, I will flash them up throughout the video when they relate to what I'm saying. People commented that it depended on the size of the item and the quality of the item, giving price and sentimental value as two of the main kind of reasons why you would keep something. So for cosmetics, I never had a lot of very expensive makeup. I was very basic with my makeup, so I had no qualms with getting rid of some of my makeup. I got rid of all the, like, you know, the lipsticks and lip glosses that you get as Christmas presents throughout the year because you're a girl, and all that stuff. I didn't really wear makeup, so it wasn't a big thing for me, but I had a few, like, I had my, like, a few things that I wore out to parties that I kind of needed to replace, and I wanted to find a cheaper, kind of not too expensive replacement for my not too expensive non-vegan products. But yeah, I had no qualms with throwing out my old makeup and buying new makeup. But not everyone is like me, not everyone doesn't wear makeup, not everyone has the cheapest makeup you can get, because some people really like expensive makeup and some people are really into makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're one of these people who has really expensive makeup, like the really nice stuff that I wish I was into makeup enough to have, and that I wish I was good enough with makeup to justify buying, but I'm really not. So if you're one of these people that has these, like, I don't know, it's a really good brand, I don't even know. But yeah, if you have like a really expensive foundation and you haven't used very much of it and you're just like, this isn't vegan, but I really don't want to throw it out, no problem. It is perfectly okay to phase out all of your products and just kind of use up the stuff that is non-vegan and just gradually replace it, because if you really want to find top quality replacements that you're going to be happy with and make you feel happy with using vegan alternatives to your top non-vegan products, then it might take you a while to be able to afford all the replacements, and it would be terribly expensive to just go out online or like go out to a shop and buy a whole face worth of makeup products that is vegan from a top brand. Like, that could cost you a lot of money, and if you don't want to spend that money, it's perfectly okay to phase out your non-vegan products and replace them gradually as they run out with vegan alternatives. Of course, continuing to buy the non-vegan makeup that is also tested on animals is a bit kind of, that's not vegan because it might contain an animal ingredient. Also, a lot of vegans disagree with animal testing. So yes, cosmetics, it really depends on the price of the item, and you really shouldn't feel bad for phasing out your makeup if you have the intention of replacing it with vegan alternatives. Now, clothing often also contains non-vegan items, such as some jumpers contain wool or angora, which is rabbit hair, which is just so sad, or like leather items that you might have lying around, and this really depends on your personal preference and also the cost of the item, like cosmetics. And also there is the sentimental value that some items might have, and just maybe they're really freaking pretty. Like, I had a lot of jumpers that had animal hair in that I didn't even bother to check when I bought them, because so most of these jumpers were like, you know, they're from New Look or fast fashion places that could be easily replaced, and really I didn't wear that much anyway, so I had absolutely no problem with just kind of throwing these away. A few items I gave to a couple of my friends. I gave a nice little kind of cardigan to one of my best friends, and she likes it, she wears it, so yeah, I had no issue with getting rid of some of those products. However, I did have a few items that were expensive. Like, I had a pair of really nice high-heeled shoes that just the sole was leather, and I wore them to Valentine's ball at my school, and I also wore them to summer ball at my school, so they had a bit of memory, and they were just so pretty and I love them so much. So I decided, you know what, I am okay with keeping this pair of shoes because they have the memories and they're pretty and I wear them all the time and I really like them. Some of my shoes had leather in that I never wore. I gave them to my mum. She has the same size feet as me, they were perfect for her work, and yeah, I just gave them to my mum, and that was that. It was fine. But I know, sadly, I no longer have the pair of shoes because my dog ate them, so, you know, problem solved. I don't have any leather shoes anymore. But if you have an item of clothing that you really like and that you have been wearing for years and that it's just so pretty, it is okay to continue wearing that item as long as you feel comfortable wearing that item. A lot of vegans, as they progress into their vegan time, do not feel comfortable wearing an animal's skin on them. So lots of people do phase stuff out. If you want to phase stuff out, you can donate it to charity, you can sell it, and if you are uncomfortable with keeping the profits from selling animal skin, there is one person on the Facebook questionnaire thing that I did that said that they sold their leather jacket and then they donated the proceedings to animal charities. What a saint. I got rid of most of my animal clothing. There is one item that I still have that is leather that I do wear on a regular basis, and this item is my mum's leather belt. Yes, it does gross me out, but also it is the only belt that I own. So I just don't have any other belt, and I'm not in a rush to go out and buy a thick belt because, to be honest, I haven't found another belt that looks like this one that I like as much. Do I feel bad wearing animal skin? Yes, but I will get onto the reasons why I also don't feel bad later. So I have gone through some of my opinions on keeping and using non-vegan products, but I'm not the only person out there, so I'm going to go through some of the reasons why people don't want to and why people do think it's okay. The main argument for keeping and using up your non-vegan stuff is the fact that the harm was done when you bought it, and continuing to use it is no longer harming anyone because you've already paid your money, you've already supported that industry before you were vegan, so what's the harm if you keep using it? And this is a very valid argument because, to be honest, throwing away the stuff you've bought isn't really going to help anyone. No cows are going to come back to life, no animals are going to be untested on, so you might as well continue using it. I also share this view that the damage was done when you buy it, and if you feel comfortable with continuing to use it, then that's absolutely fine. You're not supporting the industry as long as you are no longer paying them. Another reason that ties onto this is there is no point throwing it away. Some people view it as more disrespectful to the animal if you just discard their skin. Like, all that suffering that they went through was for nothing, and you've bought the item and you supported the industry and you've supported the cruelty, and now you've changed your mind and you're just like, nah, I don't like it. And some people view this as disrespectful to the animal, and there is no point throwing away because it is wasteful. Of course you can get around this by donating or selling your items or just giving it to one of your friends or your mother. And then also people give the cost of replacing, and it's just not affordable or practical for most people to rip out all their clothing or just empty the whole makeup bag into the bin and then go off to the shops and buy all new products. Like, most people view this as not doable because most people live on a normal income and have bills to pay and all that stuff. I certainly don't view it as practical to just get rid of all your stuff. I did not get rid of all my stuff at once. My makeup was very cheap, so I just threw that away. I gave it to my sisters or like to younger girls that I knew, like, have some makeup. But for more expensive items, it's just not affordable. Like, if you have a bag, a really nice leather bag that you just kind of, it cost you like £150 and it's really nice and you bought it really recently and you like the vegan bag, but the vegan bag is like £150 as well, and you just spent £150 and it's just not, you know, bags are expensive. So if you have a situation like that, yes, of course it is okay to continue using it because we don't expect you to go bagless because you can't afford a new bag and your current one is not vegan. Like, no one expects that. We also do not expect you to go naked or shoeless if you cannot afford new items. Also, one reason why people might continue to use non-vegan products or might even still have to purchase non-vegan products is because of compulsory items such as uniform for school. I am in the situation where I recently had to buy a kit for my vet school because, and they said that I needed a steel toe capped and steel soled boot, like a walking boot that's about this tall, and like, yeah, you get the deal, in case like a cow stood on me. And this was in a compulsory bundle. I could not get it from another source. They would not let me try and find it from another source because maybe the quality wouldn't be as good. And this boot, unfortunately, the upper layer of it is leather, and I'm going to have to wear this boot. Am I comfortable with it? Not really, but it is part of the compulsory uniform that I have to have for my course, and I had to buy it through the university and I could not find another alternative. So sometimes there is just no way around buying or continuing to use non-vegan products. And also the fact that it is sometimes very hard to find vegan stuff. Yes, there is the internet, the wonderful world of the web, but there's stuff like delivery costs and all that associated with it. And if you're like me and you live out in the arse end of nowhere, and yes, I can drive, but some people can't, it is very hard for me to get to a place where they sell lots of vegan cosmetics or lots of vegan stuff. So sometimes the practicality of finding the vegan alternatives to replace your old ones is just a bit hard. Like, it's just not practical, and people have lives, people have time to live and stuff to do. Sometimes you don't want to drive 45 minutes out of your way to get a moisturizer, and sometimes you just have to have dry skin or use your old one. There's also the sentimental value of products. Sometimes items are passed down through family, sometimes items have a lot of connotations with them that you remember good times. You just don't want to throw it away, and that's fine. Of course, if you keep a product of sentimental value, you don't have to wear it. They just keep it to look at and they're like, oh, that's so nice. So yeah, those are some of the reasons that people gave why they will continue to use non-vegan products that they had before they were vegan, or why people can continue to use it before they were vegan. So now on to the reasons why people said, no, it's not okay. To be honest, there were less reasons for this, and there were less people that said it was not okay, because most people do view it as okay. And of course, the big one as to why it's not okay is that wearing a leather jacket or a non-vegan item, or using like non-vegan lipstick or any product, especially if you have a social media presence, it is advertising animal cruelty. Someone on the comments, I'll put it up, said that fur and leather are the very definition and exemplification of animal cruelty and animal exploitation. By advertising this product, you are advertising animal cruelty and animal exploitation, and people might see this product and be like, I like that, where'd you get it? And then you're like, oh shit, please don't buy it. I mean, I'm wearing it, but don't buy it, because it's cruel, but don't buy it. So yeah, there is that issue. People will see vegans, people that they know are vegan, wearing a non-vegan thing. Like, I have a suede jacket that is big, it's a bomber jacket, it has like, it looks very real, it's not real, and it has like a lining that looks like lamb's wool, but it is not lamb's wool, it is like acrylic. And I got questions when I wore it to school because people knew I was vegan, like, is that vegan? I don't mind people asking me if it's vegan because it was vegan, but if it wasn't vegan, it would have in some way undermined the fact that I was vegan, and people would have not taken me as seriously and just not taken veganism as seriously. Like, oh, you can't pick and choose the aspects of veganism that you agree with or follow or do. And fair enough, I completely see where people are coming from when they think this. And some people are just uncomfortable with advertising the animal cruelty, and I completely agree. However, this does depend on the size of the item. Obviously, my jacket was massive, a leather jacket is massive, a fur coat is like, poof, it's very in your face, look at this item. And shoes as well, people look at shoes. But then my belt, I feel fine wearing it because it is a very small item and it's very old. So I can just say, oh yeah, it's my mum's, and it is my mum's. And also people are less likely to notice it, and it's not such a big kind of in your face, this is an animal product. And so some people agree that smaller items are okay because they're not really advertising it. Big items are not okay because they really are advertising it. So this is a bit of a floopy one. The final reason that people gave why they don't want to use non-vegan stuff that they got before they was vegan is because they have been educated. Their eyes have been opened. They now know the cruelty behind the products that they are wearing and the industries that they are supporting. They have watched Earthlings, they have watched Cowspiracy, and ding, a light bulb has gone off that this is not okay, I don't want to be associated with it, I don't want to support it, and they see that actually it's not okay to exploit animals and use them for materials and ingredients, and they just feel uncomfortable with wearing a product that is animal skin or animal fur or contains an ingredient from an animal. They feel as uncomfortable with wearing a leather belt as they feel with eating meat or drinking milk or eating eggs, and this is fair enough. Like, I also feel uncomfortable with wearing and consuming animal products because I know that it is a very cruel industry. However, again, with the leather belt, it is very old, and I subscribe to the philosophy the harm is done when you buy it, and I do not feel as uncomfortable as a lot of people do with wearing non-vegan stuff. So yeah, I hope that gave you some of the arguments why it's okay to keep using your stuff and why it's not okay. And to be honest, this is so much based on personal opinion. It relies so much on your ethical beliefs and your moral beliefs and how comfortable you are with some situations and how much you like something. It's very much a personal thing as to where you draw the line on this. Is there a time restraint? Like, you can be vegan for 6 months, and if you're still using animal products after that, you're a bad vegan. But I I personally don't think that. I think that people do the best they can to be vegan and to avoid exploiting animals and animal suffering, but in the world that we live in, it is not possible to be a perfect vegan or to perfectly exclude exploitation and suffering from your life as a consumer. And I hope that I cleared up some of the greyness and some of the mugginess with this topic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be making more #VEGANENOUGH ... videos on lots of different topics. If you have a topic in mind that you would like me to cover or that you'd like a bit more clarifying on, then please just leave it down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this video. I'm sorry if it was very rambly and if it was very kind of all over the place. It is my first long sit down video that I've actually like tried to write out, and yeah, I don't know how successful it went. Hopefully editing will save it. But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was a bit all over the place. I hope it helped. I hope that it was good. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you liked it, click the like button, comment down below, support my channel. Every subscription is welcome and appreciated. If you like me, then you can subscribe for more, and yeah, follow me on Instagram if you want. I post food if you like food. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, or whatever you're doing. Just do your best and just do you. Bye guys, thank you so much for watching. Still in my pajamas. I just put a top on that made it look like I had got dressed, but I haven't.